How y'all doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Check 1 2 1 2.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, hello. First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Never do, Bubba. Nothing but a party, y'all.
Hey, move your body. Move your body. Move your body. Don't hurt nobody. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Like butter, baby.
Yo. We live at 85.
Can you hear me?
Can you dig it?
Sucker. Can you dig it?
All right. Sure, we ain't in the same direction.
We're not spooning, are we?
Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All be the dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you Chad Chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Thanks for joining us on this Monday, November 27th, 2023. Only 3 more weeks left in the season.
Man.
Yeah. Season 6 is rapidly approaching its end.
About 5 more weeks left in the year. Feels like we was just saying 22.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So time be flying because time don't exist.
Man.
Yeah.
Man.
But I'm feeling the effects of time this morning, though. It's early, boss. I'm tired.
There you go. Tired, boss.
Yep.
Tired. I'm up there with Pops. Said the weekend went by fast.
Did he? Is Pops in the chat already? All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they coming on in.
Well, check them out. All right, y'all. That's what's up. Leia Keefe gives us a happy, marvelous Monday to all.
Hey.
Marvelous.
Yeah.
Marvelous.
Yes.
Kimmer Snipes says, man, I was grooving with Anita. Good morning. Oh, we you came in on the radio channel.
Yeah.
Appreciate everybody that joined us on the radio channel. 630 Club. Let us know how the mix was.
Yeah, I call it Club 630.
There you go. Kimmer says, if anyone is in Benson, come. Who's grouping to Anita? Okay, where are you at in Benson? What's going on? What am I missing? Are you hanging at a Hardy Coffee? You in my hood today? Okay,
round the way. Is the headquarters still closed down?
Yeah, man. Yeah, still under construction. So yeah, but he was busy opening banks and things. So
yeah. got a lot of pots on the fire.
There you go. Ahead, put on the back burner for a little bit.
Yeah, man.
Gwen Easter says, good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on in. There's Pops right there. Says, I don't know what happened to the weekend, but happy First Sky Monday. And mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Weekend flew by.
Really did. Really kind of did. I was kind of in a NyQuil haze since Friday. So
really, how you feeling?
Much better. Thank you. Still not 100%, but I'm about 80. 85.
Okay, you can do a little something with that.
Yeah, I can do a lot with that because I was functioning at 40, so I can do something live at 85 for real.
Hey.
Man, Christy Nor in the chat says good morning. Good morning to you as well. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Looks like we got Facebook and YouTube working, so appreciate that. Yep, Amy H. in the chat says good morning, fam. Hey, appreciate everybody getting up for the good mornings this morning on this Monday. How was your weekend? You guys still hungover from the food? What's going on? I did update. Did get some tamales.
Good. Did you get your greens?
Very happy. Did not get the greens yet.
Okay.
No, so but I got a batch ready for Miss Erica Fell. She got a batch ready for me, so we're gonna do a trade here pretty quick.
Yeah, she said she got something in the freezer for me. Might need to come and get those.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, lots happening. As a matter of fact, we'll just go ahead and start talking about some of this now. Of course, we have the senators on this morning. Senator Justin Wayne, Senator Terrell McKinney. Put some respect on their names, and
Yeah.
also our brother Qasim will be on this morning as well, and he got several announcements that we're looking forward to hearing from him on. So
Yeah. A
yes,
lot of things are going.
you want to kind of stay tuned, stay through the show today because we got some stuff going on for real. In the last 3 weeks of the season, as a matter of fact, kind of chock full of action, actually.
Yeah. We are just talking about it before the start of the show. Good way to end this season and kind of go into next season with some momentum. Again, we've been talking about it. Next season is season 7, and 7 is a very important number for us. Very important number. So, looking to do some special things.
Yeah, we got definitely some special things, some change ups, and all that good stuff. So stay tuned for all that. But yeah, we'll be slowly rolling out some announcements on all that kind of stuff here pretty soon. Excuse me. We might have to. I'm thinking about it. We might have to do a little early chat timers kickback. A little early chat
Hmm.
timers kickback for an event that's coming up. So yeah, we'll see what's up. Brother Mayor Sanchez in the chat says so. Let the first sky begin. Hurry, step on in. Can't afford to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you cry. Oh, boy,
Okay.
come with them lyrics. Coming with them lyrics. We hope we can make
Yeah.
nobody cry today, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, but there's been a couple tear jokers.
Man, we've had some heavy couple weeks, really, news wise and all kinds of different ways. So
Yeah. But
yeah,
we still here together. That's the important part. Yes. Okay. Sue Kessler Hagen. I've been seeing your name more often. I like the consistency. Thank you. Welcome.
yeah, appreciate you coming on in.
Miss Hagen.
And yeah, and we made some changes over at Friends of First Sky Omaha too, just to try to curb some of the things that was coming on there, some of the trolling that was
Yeah.
happening. Yeah, hopefully we've solved some of those problems. This idiots making more work for us. That's what it is.
Man, fools had me messed up. Talk about I look like whooping. Get out of here. Get out of here. Skedaddle.
Those trolls too. Yeah,
Yeah. Had me messed up.
no trolls, no trolls. But on Friends of First Sky Omaha too, there's a whole lot of trolling going on over there, so we hopefully curb that. But thanks for everybody that's been reporting the trolling and trying to keep the page information,
See,
like it's supposed to be. You know what I'm
that's why
saying?
we call y'all the co-hosts. Y'all get it. We here to have some real, real conversation, real time with each other.
There it is. That's Mayor Sanchez has the lyrics from the Stylistics this morning.
Oh,
He
okay.
went way back, way
Okay.
back. That's what's up, man. Appreciate
Man,
that. How you doing today, buddy? What's going on? How was your weekend?
a little tired. The weekend was all right. It was all right. Spent some time, with Mama God and the fam and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to spend time with the fam. Still kind of celebrating my Duke's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Played some. We stayed in the house and ate food and played, board games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mama
just keeping it
God,
light.
you're throwing
Keeping it
down. I bet you.
Oh yeah. She remixing the Thanksgiving food, made some like cream turkey over the mashed potatoes. Yeah. She took the turkey, creamed it, put it over the yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
remixing.
Hey man, it's nice to have my Dukes, whipping up in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Appreciate that very much. I still I want to give a shout out to everybody who brought me plates too.
Man.
And wow, I still got food. I had to freeze some stuff because so much food came in. So really appreciate everybody, man. And it's nice, I didn't get to really get out and experience what the family did as far as food and stuff's concerned. So I really appreciate everybody that saved me a little plate.
Man.
Makes a difference. Makes it real nice. So shout out to
Yeah.
Wanda Lewis, who shot me some stuff. Amy Ryan shot me over some stuff. My sister brought over some plates. And of course I got the tamales from Mariela. So I'm doing good right now. Feeling good. Feeling great.
Abuela hooked you up.
Man.
Man.
Every
Yeah,
time.
I mean, food is a love language. Like, definitely when you put the love into the food, you can feel it in your belly. And tis the season. Tis the season, regardless of how you feel, regardless of your religious persuasions. It's a good time to spend with family, in the spirit of love and all that good stuff.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, yep, you're right. You're absolutely right. Gwen Easter said, "I love cream turkey. Can't say I ever had cream turkey or ever even heard of it. So that's a new
Really?
one.
What?
It's a new one on me.
What?
Yeah. When you
Man,
said
yeah.
cream the turkey, I was like, Cream the turkey. How you?
Cream the turkey, bruh. Yeah.
That's
You
different.
know, mix it up, put a little, cream of chicken, cream of
You,
mushroom soup, some veggies.
you just drinking the itis now. You just you, you just you just
Not
drinking the
drinking
itis.
the itis. No, no, no.
You don't have a little bit of this turkey juice and go to sleep.
See, I knew when I said cream, you just had to. That's not the. That's not. We're not gonna go there. It's not. It's not the form I'm
All
talking
right.
about. Yeah.
Well, I have to try it sometime. It seems like it's good. You got two people co-signing on it,
Yeah,
right?
man. Yeah.
You and Gwen Easter, Mama Guy, three people. So
Come
all right,
on,
we'll
man.
see. We'll see. Mayor Sanchez said I got more game than Milton Bradley. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
We got RG in the chat. Says first time checking this out away from Facebook. This is a Richard J. Good. Right on.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Over on YouTube.
On YouTube. Yep. Do us a favor if you're on YouTube or Facebook, share the show.
Yeah.
Share the show, and we want to get as many people on the conversation and being able to hear some of these announcements and have some discussion with the senators today. So get your questions ready for the senators. Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne will be on the show, and Brother Qasim is coming on. You know, BAA got this 4-year anniversary coming up, and they got a special guest speaker that's going to be there.
Man.
Dr. Umar is going to be in the building, so you want to get your tickets for that. And they got some links and things like that. We put in Friends of First Sky Omaha. We better go ahead and pin those, so make sure everybody can get their tickets and come down for this. But that's not the only announcement Brother Qasim got. So we'll let him come on and talk about some more things that's going on.
Got some beans to spill.
Man, that's what's up. Pop says, Paul, it's like cream tuna on toast.
Come on, man.
Okay, cream.
Y'all help the brother out, man. Put him on game.
Okay,
Man, Sanchez
never had
also open face cream of turkey sandwich.
Okay, y'all talking about it.
And he said sandwich.
That's a mean sandwich right there when it's a sandwich.
Yeah, make you want to.
Is that good? Is that good?
Yeah.
Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning over there on YouTube. Appreciate you very much. Yep. Man, that's what's up. Everybody I never know after a holiday how many people gonna come through. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of a crapshoot. But everybody rolling on in. Y'all back to work. Y'all starting to, getting back into the swing of things.
That's the question. Is y'all back to work on a Monday? Is that how it's working? We also love to get feedback from you guys about the show too. Show times. We approach this every end of the season. Like next season, would you like us to give us some suggestions on different times? Is it better after work than it is in the morning? Hey, we've been every year, every season though they come back. Nah, we like the morning, so we kept it in the morning, but
make it longer. That's usually the request we get.
Yeah, we do got a lot of good things coming up next season too. We're gonna definitely change up some formats and do some different things. We got a new website launching. Got all kinds of stuff that's coming up here. So we'll this next 3 weeks will be announcements from us too on some new things.
Excitement.
Yep. Mayor Sanchez talking about I like Campbella soup. Good. Okay. I know what Campbella soup is.
I know Campbell's, but Campbella.
Yeah. Kimmer says it's crazy. I got to start getting my notebook out when the senators come on now.
Good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, it was. We was hoping to get to that. Me too. I was be sitting here trying to tap away on some notes.
Yeah,
definitely
informative.
Yeah, I mean, like I have learned. Like I said, I've learned more than I can't even tell you how much I've learned this last couple seasons of being able to speak directly to the senators about what's going on. You want to know something about local politics? Ask a local politician. Have a regular conversation with them and find out.
There you go. And it's nice to have that access. So yeah, definitely shout out to brother senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne. For taking the time to speak with us and do so consistently. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, and we appreciate you coming back and being able to offer questions and comments.
Yes,
that contribute to the conversation. We're going to do that again today. It's a constant thing for us to keep on making sure that we have the most pristine chat. Chat is not being used like we use it here on First Sky Omaha. So shout out to you, the chat chimers, doing this and bringing all this good information and all this good stuff. We got Terry Crawford in the chat this morning. He says, "Good morning, First Sky fam. Repurposing that turkey is old school for sure. What y'all know about it, man?
Come on, man. We trying to teach him. A little something.
Repurposing the turkey for me means turkey sandwiches and all kinds of stuff like that. I never heard of the cream turkey, but
Hey, you know,
drinkitis. That's how
yeah.
that.
My dude's about to make some turkey pot pies next.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, we
yeah.
about to do some news pot pies. Fresh edition of First Guy Omaha in the morning. It's Monday,
In the
November
morning.
27th. It was going down. Thank you, Thick, and good morning. Let's start the show.
Let's start.
What up, what up, what up? Good morning, good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Paul B. the Dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of
Hey.
you, Chad Chimers, Ghost listeners, radio listeners, thanks for joining us again on this Monday, November 27th, 2023. Lots of news to talk about today. We usually talk about what's in the news and what happened over the weekend. And also, we also usually have the senators on. Brother Senators Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne will be on earlier.
Mhm.
And a little later on in the show, Brother Qasim from the Black Agenda Alliance will be on to give us a few announcements and talk about a few things too. So stay tuned for that interview. It's going to be great. Lots of things going on in this last 3.5 weeks or 2.5 weeks we got left in the season. Guess it's a solid 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yep. So solid 3 weeks starting today. Lots to try to wrap up at the end of this season. And then we'll go on our break and then come back in January to season 7, which is going to be a big different. There's a lot of things we got going on for season 7. I can't wait to tell you about them. In the meantime, between time, we're going to continue on here. Thanks, Kimber, for bringing up, how much we have to, jot down and learn from the guests that we have on. We've had some guests on and really been able to talk to some folks, answer some questions this season. And learn some things, and for the most part, learning more things than ever, as far as I'm concerned, especially about local politics and what's going on. I don't have a very, I got a little bit of a grim picture, more of Omaha and Nebraska over the things that I've learned over this course of this season. So, got to go through that little period of downtime about it, and then come back with a new plan, to battle. Different battle tactics.
Yeah.
But first, you got to get the lay of the land. I think that's what we've been successfully been able to do here on this show, and we're going to continue to do it. So
it's a good way to put it. Especially about the Pillen administration. Again, we were kind of, giving them, a little, I don't know, I want to say leeway, but I'll say runway. Give them a little runway to see, how this thing is going to take off, how the administration, how the state is going to be run. And I think now we're kind of, realizing like, oh, okay, this is what we're dealing with. Okay, I remember. I know you. I recognize you. And I think that's where we are. But on the positive side, going along with Pops in the chat, he says, when it comes to the senators, the education we receive here can be found nowhere else. It's amazing. And I definitely, think that although we kind of can have a sour taste in our mouth about some of the things that we're seeing and how our state is being run, I think we've gone a long way to kind of still destigmatize just around politics and destigmatize local politics and the access that we as everyday people have to it. So I think that goes a long way.
Yeah, I got to say, what this show started off as a kind of a news show, and you know how news kind of works. Whatever's kind of hot in the day. But it quickly turned into a conversation that made it so that you kind of got to keep up with us in order to, there's some long-term conversations going on, some deep dive that's taken more than just the headlines of the show, of one show to cover. So those of you that have been returning and coming back, that's been the important part. The Chad Chimers that are able to contribute because what we talked about last show and the show before last, and it's definitely turned into that kind of piece where you gotta kind of keep up. There's too many big things to learn, and you're not gonna learn them in 1 or 2 15-minute sessions of the show that you watched last week. It's going to definitely be a discussion that lasts over some time during the day, which is why a lot of people ask us to do more than 2 hours.
Mhm.
And it's also over time when it comes to the number of shows that we devote to a certain subject as well. So we've definitely have decided that we're not decided, but we just kind of rolled into this idea that we got to keep up with each other on these subjects and keep talking about them, get to the deeper parts of them, the nuanced parts of them in order to really understand them. So hopefully
Yeah.
that's what you guys are doing along with us. If there's any better way we can do that better, let us know. And we'll definitely take that in consideration on future seasons.
Yeah, man. Trying to make this thing perfect.
Man, jumping back in the chat real quick, Kimmer says, let's talk about the new library policy recently implemented with stricter requirements, more restrictive than the stalemate voter ID laws just passed.
Mm.
Yeah, please let us know about that. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Stephen Abraham says, Grand Rising, good morning. We made it through another rotation. That's right.
It's true.
Got to celebrate that every time. Cameron, back on that subject, says they have to have dates of validity, so no more homeless shelter IDs. They also used to accept expired IDs if you had proof of address. Now they don't. Okay, this places an undue burden on people living in poverty. Yeah, it's messed up. We never really got to get into too much of the what changed as far as voting laws are concerned. We kind of talked about the situations that as they came up. Like the DMV that's now giving away free IDs, and the fact that you got to have an ID. That law change
Right.
we started. You got to have an ID now. So, yeah, undue burdens, and it's unfortunate to hear that the library is doing even more than the laws sounds like to me. So, we'll definitely have to jump into it. Stephen Abraham says this season of First Sky Omaha has been fire. Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Hey, okay. And hopefully we'll finish this thing out with a bang. So we're looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Kimmer is continuing on with this information. She says they also require that any items you bring in with you be able to fit under your chair, which really targets people experiencing houselessness.
Mm.
It's the library is okay. Uh, I'm not here. I didn't hear about any of those kinds of policy changes that was happening when I was kind of involved, and I guess I was involved in a different kind of. I was on the steering committee for the new library stuff, so I wasn't really in the room when they were talking about new policies and things. Unfortunately, so this is kind of disturbing to hear. We'll have to talk about that a little bit. Let's see. Also, John, we got John Carter in the chat and gives us a good morning.
Peace.
Yep, appreciate you. Marlon Harrison says good morning. I just woke and forgot the show was on.
Hey, well, welcome.
I figured that was going to happen. After a strange week when. Like Wednesday felt like it was supposed to be Friday and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, kind of throw things off a little bit.
Yeah, threw them off a tad bit. Miss Erica Feld, I see is in the chat. Homeless use the library to find employment and housing. This is very problematic, for real. I skipped over Stacey Jean in the house. Says, good morning, First Guy, Omaha, family and friends. Thanks for that sunshine because it's cold outside. It's 22 degrees out this morning.
Man.
Cold.
Yeah, I heard some snow descended down upon the city.
I don't appreciate it. I do not appreciate it.
We consider that a curse word around here.
You know what I'm saying? Speaking of people that love snow, where's Mark Manor at? Is he in the chat yet?
No, I haven't seen Brother Mark.
I got to give him stuff all the time. Every time it's glorious snow going on. He loves him some cold weather. I'm not about it.
Man. He's still recovering from the Black Friday sales again. What do you say? Like 160 some exclusive records came to Homer's.
Go. Yeah,
they was camped out.
That's right.
Yeah,
camped out. That's what's up. Kimmer says you might not have heard about it because it wasn't a board approved policy. It was internal. Library tripping. Pop says if you ever do go 3 hours, please, for the love of God, please don't start the show an hour earlier. Pop, West Coast listeners got to get up extra early in the morning.
Man, they might not even have to go to sleep. You know what I mean? And just stay up.
Hey, the Hawaii listeners, I got a few Hawaii listeners that are like, yeah, we was just up from partying last night, so it's 3:00 in the morning here, so we might as well turn the show on.
Man, appreciate that. Man, really appreciate that. Man, tuned in all over the globe.
Yeah, that's what's up. Kimmer Snipe says, I've got some palm cards from the Nebraska table that goes into full detail. Okay, cool. So Nebraska table is breaking down exactly what the changes are at the library. Can't wait to hear that. Miss Erica Fell says, "Good morning. I've been closed since Wednesday, so the children will be on a Monday times 10. So I'm gonna wish you all a great Monday and catch the replay so I can make us something special for them." Okay, that's what's
Okay,
up.
beautiful.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, I was wondering about that too when we think about childcare and they get some time off when they come back. I bet you it's like they brand new. They brand new
Man,
again.
kids acting brand new.
Yep, yep. Cameron says, "Well, we can talk. Don't forget, I work for the library. They got major issues. Yep,
Yep, that's what
yep,
I'm
yep.
thinking. Kimber with the scoop. She said, "I got ears all through multiple branches."
That's what's up.
Okay.
That's what's up. Yeah, we got some. Library is an important. It's an important institution. It really is an important institution, and we're going through a big change with these libraries. And so, and yeah, I can see that I've been on the positive end of the changes, but I'm sure that there's some negative changes too. Some things going on that needs to be addressed for sure. So we'll definitely keep that in mind and have you on and maybe talk about that too. Stephen Abraham says Black people in the city of Omaha have been desensitized when it comes to crime against ourselves. A 10-year-old child was recently killed on the night of Thanksgiving. Oh man.
Hmm. I think Sister Gwen Easter was asking about that on Friday, actually. Um, and we have not really seen any news about it, have not really heard any other
Are
information.
you sure about that? There was an 11-year-old that she was talking about
Was
that
that an 11-year-old?
happened last week. Yeah, something happened over the weekend that I hadn't heard about yet. In the city, he says Black people in the city of Omaha have been desensitized. Yeah,
I think that's everywhere.
I can feel that, and I can especially when we scour the news for this show. If we haven't come across some of that kind of news, then we're just like, how is it that can be left out, or did we miss it, or what's going on? You know what I'm saying?
As far as the 10-year-old,
Yeah, because
losing their life.
part of the reason for us doing this is because we're not desensitized, and we want to shine some light on some things that are going on in order to try to help and try to stop them. So again, we have to have some kind of mechanism, especially to Brother Abraham's point in the Black community. Part of the reason why I think there's some desensitized attitudes happening is because of how much attention mainstream media gives to certain things,
Mm.
or anybody gives to certain things when it comes to Black culture and Black neighborhoods and stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? If the world all around you is not making it important, you got to fight to keep it important for yourself. You know what I'm
Getting
saying?
more information. That's a sad situation.
Yeah.
Sister Wanda Lewis says the 10-year-old passed away accidentally shot by his father thinking he was a burglar.
Oh man. So yeah, that's something new. That's a new case from the last week. What we were talking about last week. That's sad. Kimmer says it's very important, especially in our age of trying to take away information. Talking about the library again. Gwen Easter said he was 10 years old. Heartbreaking to hear that he died. Yeah, that's terrible.
Man,
Yeah.
man, prayers goes out to that family. Like,
Yep.
I'm sure I can't imagine what the father is dealing with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's tough, man. Uh, yeah, I don't know. That's hard. That's hard to imagine. I guess we'll be looking at that and finding out more about that as it goes along. Anybody knows the family, I'm sure that this is the time to reach out to them. They know the family because they probably are really going through it. In the meantime, between time, almost coming up on the 7:30 time frame, we do have some special guests coming in. So let's go ahead and jump into some of the things that we got laid out to talk about today before we get into our guests coming on. Just so we can make sure we have enough time for everybody. It's going to be a full day today. Like once again, appreciate you joining us. If you hadn't heard, brother senators Justin Wayne and Terrell McKinney will be on today, and then after that, brother Qasim from the Black Agenda Alliance will be on today to give us some updates on some things that are happening, some announcements. So stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, between time, what are some other things that we see is important to talk about today, buddy?
Actually, I kind of hear you. Like that just really just changed the tone.
Yeah,
Can we just do it like a quick moment of silence?
that's a great idea. Great
Yeah,
idea.
just a quick moment of silence for that young man. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you for that. Appreciate you guys letting us do that. That's it's kind of tough to keep on talking about something after that news, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We gotta acknowledge, we just gotta acknowledge it. Yeah, it's a sad situation all the way around, man. But thank y'all for sharing that. We get, gotta talk about these things. Unfortunately. But as a community, yeah, yeah. And hopefully, we can maybe get into that a little later on with Brother Qasim as far as gun control. They are doing trainings and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Sad situation. But at any rate, again, we do have other things to talk about today. As Paul mentioned, we'll be having the senators coming on. So we'll definitely be talking to them about some things, figuring out what bills to pay attention to, and also continuing to talk about some other bills that we already are paying attention to. Of course, LB 531, also LB 620, which is another one that we're very high and hot on.
Mm.
So yeah, we'll definitely hopefully get some more information about that. But also, I do want to give a shout out, a little positive news. Again, Senator McKinney recently recognized as a community champion for some of the work that he's doing in regards to education. And again, the headlines read Advocates Recognized for Help in Knocking Down Legal Barriers to Education in Nebraska. So, kind of talk about some of the work that brother Senator McKinney is doing in the area of education. Again, pushing for several bills, more school choice for our children and things like that. Very interesting conversation.
Mhm.
Also, speaking of interesting conversation, this is something we've been looking at for quite some time, and one of our chat chimers has actually sent us some information on the OPPD situation. Again, the North Omaha coal plant is still going on, and this is actually a video from several years ago. So it's kind of interesting to see the work that was being done as I'm looking at Brother Sharif with the locks. Some of the work that was being done all the way back in 2014 and where we are now. A big shout out to the likes of Sister Kimber Snipes, Amy Hutfliss, a couple of the people, chat chimers, speaking to OPPD, trying to get some more information now. The can being kicked down the road. So I will definitely be talking about that. Also, speaking of environmental things, Pillen recently wrote a letter to the Nebraska Environmental Trust, which is being labeled as unusual and political interference. The governor is urging the trust board to grant funds for a quote unquote long term public benefit and capital expenditure. So, diving into what exactly is going on with the Pillen administration and trying to get as much information as we can, because in other news, there are more worries going out about secrecy growing as state officials shield records from the public. This is happening actually nationwide, but is also happening in Nebraska, as we recently talked about some of the blocking and some of the opinions from the state's attorney general, again, blocking the inspectors general's office and not really giving a lot of information out in regards to the Department of Health and Human Services, child welfare, and then also the prison system. So again, what is going on with the government secrecy? And it seems to be a trend, kind of going to the old playbook, the old script that we're always talking about coming from Republicans. So yeah, we'll definitely dive into that conversation. Also, speaking of prisons, what is going on with Nebraska prisons? I'm hearing some good news. Nebraska prisons launching a new holistic approach to prepare inmates for reentry into society. Something that we're focusing on and talking about at First Sky Omaha. We are currently working with MCC and their reentry program. Also speaking with the senators about some of the bills that they hope to pass in the next session to stop what Senator Wayne calls jamming out. Again, inmates just getting out of prison, not going through any kind of programming, not any kind of counseling, nothing really equipping them to stay out of prison. So hopefully this new program, who recently received an anonymous grant, will go towards that. So we'll definitely talk about that. But again, I also want to approach what's not being talked about in the prisons. Again, I do want to juxtapose some of the good things we're hearing coming out of Nebraska prisons with some of the things we're not hearing as far as what's going on. Another Sarpy County man recently passed in the Sarpy County jail. A 21-year-old recently passed, and honestly, it seems like every time we prepare for this show and we comb through the news outlets, it does seem like somebody else is dying in Nebraska prison. So I'm kind of weary of these positive news that we're coming out and hearing when, again, a lot of information is not being released from Nebraska prison. So we'll definitely be talking about that. And maybe I'll try to get into what's going on with Mr. Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer who was convicted of the murder of George Floyd. He's getting into some incidents and while he's again incarcerated. So That's actually leading to a larger conversation about understaffing and safety in prisons federally. So again, a lot of things to talk about. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat, as a few of you have already done. Again, we're here to have the conversation. So as I always say, conversation rules the nation. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard.
Yep. Before we jump into that, I'll jump into the chat real quick. We got Margie Miller Jenkins in the chat.
Okay.
Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat. Appreciate you coming on in on Facebook.
Have a new name.
Yep. There are 17 active genocides globally, with Palestine at the current forefront. Our tax dollars are funding them. Yep, very true.
Yep.
Lots going on. And as a matter of fact, we talk a lot about what we do a lot of hyper local work here when it comes to Omaha, Nebraska. But even on that worldwide scale, those things are definitely affecting people here in Omaha. There's been protests, and there's been clashes. There's been all kinds of stuff going on all kinds of levels. Some of the things that are happening in Sudan right now is really affecting our Sudanese population here in Nebraska as well. So these worldwide things are definitely doing something to us here in our hometown as well. Also, Miss Jenkins says transportation doesn't benefit
Transparency.
transparency doesn't benefit colonizers, and Pillen is an example, not the exception. Yeah,
Man.
yeah, for sure. Wanda Lewis says definitely no transparency with the Pillen administration to include child welfare programs and prisons. Very true. Also, Ms. Jenkins says, as the wife of a corporal, the prison system is effed from the inside. Administration isn't interested in improvement; they're into financial advancement. There you go. You got a little inside information from someone who is associated with the prison system there too, and also when we have a Senator Terrell McKinney on, the things that he's trying to do with prison reform come from him being pretty closely, having family members and stuff like that are in the system, and really kind of knowing from firsthand what's going on with the system and wanting to do some change. So very, very true. Miss Erica Phelps says the Chauvin incident is the Black Friday special I needed.
Man.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Okay.
interesting that they're using this incident. I don't know if you've heard that, but Chauvin got pretty much got shanked in the prison, and he's not,
Yeah.
he's still alive. But now they're using this opportunity to say what's going on in the as far as security, and as far as of course they're trying to say that he's not safe in prison, but they're also trying to use this opportunity to say what is safety in prison, what is
Mm.
going on, so. Good thing that if we're going to talk about it, then we definitely want to open up the larger conversation when it comes to it, for sure. But before we have our senators on, let's look at. You mind if we jump into the article that was praising Senator McKinney? I'd like to
Yep. Yep.
just got to get a little background information on that from that article, and then have a couple questions for him when he comes on. So maybe we can start there if you don't mind.
Yeah, actually, that's the one I had lined up. So we're right on the same page.
Word.
And yeah. Again, this is coming out of Nebraska Examiner. Shout out to Cindy Gonzalez, who's always doing good work over
Yes,
there.
sir.
Headline reads: Nebraska advocates recognized for help in knocking down legal barriers to education in Nebraska. This is coming out of the nonprofit Education Rights Council, who are recognizing four Nebraska advocates, including two state senators, for the work that they're doing and efforts to remove legal barriers to educational equity. The Education Rights Group, which focuses on advocacy and legal representation for under-resourced Nebraska public school students, presented the Aquatus Awards November 16th during its annual fundraiser called Rooted in Action. And again, our beloved Senator Terrell McKinney, brother Senator Terrell McKinney, was awarded the Community Champion Award, which again, the group described brother McKinney as a devoted father, community organizer, activist, and wrestling coach in the North Omaha community. Prior to being elected as a legislature, McKinney, who is pursuing a law degree, worked on organizing efforts for causes such as food insecurity and Medicaid expansion, which I did not know. So again, the brother's been putting in work for a long time. Also, Senator Danielle Conrad of Lincoln was recognized for some of the work that she's done. She's also received the Community Champion Award. She is a civil rights attorney who is serving her third term in the legislature, described as a lawmaker who reaches across political party lines. The group credits Conrad for introducing a new child tax credit this year in Nebraska and for expanding healthcare, strengthening the social safety net, and educational equity. And the advocacy and education winner was also a Child's Justice Clinic, which is a partnership between the University of Nebraska College of Law and the Center on Children, Families, and the Law. The clinic, run by Michelle Paxton, provides opportunity and mentorship for third-year law students to serve as guardians ad litem in Nebraska's juvenile court system. So again, recognizing people who are doing things for the young folk. Also, lastly, recognized was the given the Ambassador for Youth Rights Award is Carly Starling, who's a psychologist at Boys Town Behavioral Health Clinic in Grand Island. For more than 20 years, the education rights group said Starling has been advocating for the rights of children and families as a foster parent, a sign language interpreter, and applied behavior analyst and psychologist. So again, it sounds like Brother McKinney is among some pretty decent company, if I do say so myself. But yeah, definitely looking forward to having him on and kind of asking more questions and kind of getting into exactly what he plans to do moving forward about education. Conversations that we've been having with the senators and trying to fix what's going on with our education system. Obviously, a lot of us feel like there's some trouble, some gaps that need to be filled, if you will. So yeah. What say you, Paul?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about it, the recognition that he's getting. He's been doing a lot of work, and we've been uncovering a lot of work that he's been doing since he's been on the show here for the last couple seasons, and talking about things that I don't think the general public talk about, and also coming from a certain perspective as well. When he's doing things for education and also doing things for prison reform, he looks at it in a different way than I think other senators and other lawmakers are doing. They're not coming at any of those things as a thing that's conjoined. With this preschool to
Mm.
prison pipeline means that you got to deal with education and prison reform at the same time, and I don't think that any other senators are looking at that. So it takes me right to who in the legislature is thinking like that. Well, Senator Terrell McKinney's thinking like that, and that makes me go, man. Let's make sure that we keep him around. Go on, get your IDs. Get your free IDs from the DMV, because we got to make sure that he's voted in next year for real.
Yeah, he is running for reelection. He is running for reelection. So trying to make that happen. Yeah, we definitely got to support. And again, I am interested in seeing how things will change moving forward, or at least what bills he's going to push moving forward. Because I don't think he's going to be falling back from that argument or that fight anytime soon. And yeah, I do agree. It does seem like, especially kind of conjoining the two, like there's a lot of people that are interested in jumping into the education conversation, but nobody looking at it holistically as far as the beginning and the end of the preschool to prison pipeline, trying to again change the schools, change the community, as well as change what's going on in the prison system. As we're learning from the senators, not the most sexy bill, but again, things that we have to talk about, things that we have to push forward and continue to keep on the front of minds. So yeah, big shout out to Senator McKinney, and look forward to speaking to him a little later on.
Absolutely, and also, if I'm wrong about that, if there are some senators out there that have that broad view and have been doing that work. Let me know. We
Yeah,
we have these particular senators on because they're willing to come on and speak, but we've spoken to other senators that have been willing to come on as well, and we've learned a lot about allies this season as well. We learned a lot about
mm,
what allies are for and what some allies are not for. You can get their help on some things. Then when it comes to prison reform, and then sometimes you don't get that help. Sometimes you get the opposite. So we've learned a lot about those things, and that's the reason why it seems to me nobody's really thinking about this in this holistic way that you just mentioned. But if I'm wrong about that, and there's senators out there that are listening that are also fighting that fight, let us know. And if there's anybody who's is that we need to ask on, let's put it out there to the chat chambers and the ghost listeners and everybody else. Anybody else we need to have on to ask some hard questions with? There's plenty of other senators out there that we could be speaking to
yeah,
about some things. Matter of fact, there's one that's trying to get teachers to be armed, and they're pushing for some of that stuff. Of course, we've been talking about this new bill that we're all fired up about. What is it, L 6?
it'll be 620.
620. So yeah, can you put felonies on 12-year-olds and detain 9-year-olds? Who's the senators behind that? We need to have them on and talk about why they're pushing something like that. There's a lot of people that we can talk to that we have the ammo now because of having Senator Justin Wayne, Senator Terrell McKinney on and talking about these things and understanding what's really at stake and what's going on here. So we can continue to really kind of talk about these things on that level. So yeah, congratulations, Senator McKinney, for sure. And man, interesting. I keep on going back to that moment where when I first met him before he was the senator, and I just I'm looking at this brother now like, man, you know, it really
Mhm.
is like who's in here fighting for us, who's going to be fighting for us next year. You know what I'm saying? Who is really addressing any of these things on a level where they're ready for some action on it. They're trying to take some steps here. Who's
Yeah.
even looking at it like that? Like, like who's even looking at it like that? I hope that that's something that we've accomplished here on the show this last two seasons too. Is to if there's anybody who was on the fence about something, maybe hoping your mind got changed about what the actual issues and the problems are here, and what needs to be the sexy bills to go help push.
Yeah, trying to reach some clarity, some consensus through all the minutia. So yeah, definitely appreciate the senators for clearing things up. And this is kind of reminding me as far as again this whole um, situation as far as the awards and everything, the recognition is going out for education rights, and this is reminding me we're still not out of the whole school choice situation, the whole school choice conversation. Again, it's going to the ballot. That was the last kind of stint of things that we talked about. The last chapter, if you will, is again advocates out there and organizations fighting to get that on the ballot. And now that it is on the ballot, we still have education. We still have some clarity to find. We still have some more research to do to kind of figure out how we want to vote. If this is something we still do support or not support, how it will play out, and kind of prepare. If it does become law, what does that mean? How do we respond? So yeah, we're still in the heat of the education conversation, especially ahead of this election season. Several candidates have already recognized and stated that education is going to be a part of their platform, going to be a part of the issues that they're focusing on. So definitely expecting this conversation to heat back up within the next year.
Yeah. And jumping in the chat, Kimmer Snipes says the director talked about the holistic approach in some detail a few weeks ago. Maybe Willie can talk about it or get you connected to the director. Okay, you talking about a couple weeks ago when they did the Empowerment Network event. I'd like to hear about that. Amy H. Dot in the chat says the first one Omaha's from the ground up panel had Mr. Preston Love every single point brought back to look at from the black person in North Omaha's lens and perspective. Interesting.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting. We'll have to go back and check that out.
Yeah. First of all, good morning, Miss Amy H. Dot.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, yes, thank you for reminding us, Brother Preston Love Jr. is running for office as well. Announced here on the show that he will be challenging current Senator, not Pillen, but Ricketts.
Mm-hmm. Well, Pillen, Ricketts.
Yeah, yeah.
Tony Johnson says a good question.
Spider Man
A,
being.
Tony Johnson says a good question for Jane Cleave in Nebraska Democratic Party. Yeah, I think you're right. Amy
Mm,
H. Dot says because it often differs from other perspectives. This is how every senator should view and critique every potential bill. Yeah, we know that's what they should do, but that's not what
right.
they're gonna do. That's
Yeah.
like in this state, it literally take you. I guess you got to be black to think about any black issues. I guess you know what I'm saying. Like on a,
Yeah.
that's what it seems like. There's nobody else has any relating at all. It doesn't seem like people are
No.
relating too much.
And that was made evident by the filibusters in the last session. Like we trying to get some, assistance for our community.
Learned about allies this season. That's for sure. Wanda Lewis says North Omaha Community Partnership recognized by KETV. Okay, cool.
That's what's
Yeah, I
up.
didn't see that.
That's what's
Missed
up.
that.
If you got the article or a link, drop that in the chat.
Yeah, let us know about that for real. So yeah, this is pretty interesting. I like where Amy H. Dot is going with this though. I mean, it does. She's right. This what Preston Love did stood out to her because it makes sense. Look at look at everything that's going on. Look at all the issues and that's what this show does really is like look through everything that's going on with a lens of a black person in North Omaha. Because who else is doing that? Who else is doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's really kind of the question to me is like who else was doing that?
Yeah. But you kind of who else can?
Uh,
Who else
I
should?
don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like um I mean, my brain is going in two different directions. One is
Okay.
representation. Yes, there
Hmm.
should be some us's in there, thinking of us's, but there's also this other line of thought where it doesn't take much to have some empathy, put yourself in somebody else's situation. It doesn't take much if you're to to know what is just and what's not just. It doesn't take much. And I don't tend to think that a lot of these other senators are not thinking that way. It's still not translating though in if it's down to them or me or you, it's going to be me then. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind
Hmm.
of the
Hmm.
attitude though. Not that any of this injustice is being missed on a lot of them. I think that they're just are like, yeah, but my thing is going to be more important right now. I have to push, what me and mine say and need. So I don't know, so like especially in this state, we gotta there's is there enough of us to is there enough representation to really make a difference? We bring the dynamic duo on every week. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And they're showing us what kind of struggle they got, and how a lot of times it's just them. So in a situation where it's just them, we actually need actual real allies. You know what I'm saying? Amy H. Dot is saying no. I'm saying if you're not black on the Senate, have a take on feedback from folks living that experience, walk the walk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Mm.
saying
Okay.
it does not just the imagination of understanding what's just and unjust, but actually talking to some folks and having it, hearing another perspective from somebody who's in it, and
Hmm.
making the right choice, making the right decision. Tony Johnson says civics organizations, political parties, advocacy groups, many have mission to focus on issues lack action. I see that. Marlon Harrison says, will Senator Terrell McKinney be up for a town hall with educators? I feel like they are being left out of the conversation when it comes to education and the bills being passed or not passed. That's something
Hmm.
to bring
I
to them.
mean, I definitely think that's something Senator McKinney be up to, and we can ask him when he comes on. But my mind kind of goes to the educators. Like, are they willing, or not even willing, but are they able? Because we are through our personal experience, educators aren't always the most um ready and ready to come or willing to come or feel like they have. Is just something about this sense that we're getting that educators are being silenced, and it's not by happenstance that they're being left out of the conversation. And when we try to interview in the past, we've tried to interview educators and for articles and things like that, and it's like, well, got to talk to administration. I don't know if we can. It's a lot of that. So I
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a sense that they're being silenced. They've actually told us that they're scared to speak up because of their jobs. So yeah, that's tough. That's a tough one on that. And it keeps going back to administration. We keep on talking about this as well. We keep on going through it. We went through a whole period of time where we were talking about the school board. I feel like we got people that are Chad Chimers that are now on the school board. We got people that are Chad Chimers used to be on the school board, and we talked a lot about the school board and figured out exactly kind of what the power was with the school board and what it wasn't. And we also have been in this situation where the superintendent had walked off, decided to leave, and they're looking for
Mhm.
another one. And what we've learned in those periods of time is that administration is kind of a lot of the problem sometimes. They're the ones turning the money down. They're the ones that decide not to pay the teachers more. They're the ones that the teachers are scared of losing their job from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, brother, let us know. Let us know what we can do to entice a safe space enough for educators to come and be able to speak up and tell their story. It's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah, we would love to hear it. If you know anybody personally, let us
Yeah.
know.
We're going to go ahead and make a switch here. It's 7:54 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we got a special guest waiting in the wings, ladies and gentlemen. Senator Justin Wayne in the house. Good morning.
Hey,
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing, bro? Not hearing you. Not
no,
hearing your mic off.
no sound, no sound.
I'm gonna say, dang, I'm trying it again. I closed everything down. I'm doing everything y'all told me to do. Otherwise, I'm gonna go sit in the chair with the phone here in a second.
Oh, you sounding and looking good. Sounding looking good. So we appreciate you. Top of the morning, Senator. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man. Life is good.
Good.
Thanksgiving, had some time to add some pounds, and everything's good.
That's what's up.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm sure you get the opportunity to run it off, refing the games and
And I
things.
was reffing this weekend. Beautiful thing. Don't nobody know who I am except for one person came up to me and was like, "Hey, you related to Senator Wayne?" I said, "Yeah, I'm related." She said, "Well, tell her such such said hi." I was like, "All right, I'll do that." And then I kept reffing, and dude behind her was like, "Man, you know that's Justin." I was like, "Ah, that's not Justin. That's somebody else."
Yep. Keep that energy. Keep that
Right,
energy,
right,
man.
right.
That's what's up, man. I'm glad you find some fulfillment in that in what you're doing now. That's what's up.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, you just sit there and concentrate on the game. You ain't got to worry about, all this nonsense. And parents know not to talk to me when they start yelling at me. I just look at them and say, "You're gonna be watching this game from live stream. You ain't gonna be here no
Man.
more." And they stop. They stop. So
A
it's
rough
good.
position.
Man, you ejected parents, man. Come on.
No, I give them a warning first, and then they done. You know what I'm saying? Like I give them that warning. You're gonna be watching it from live stream. Don't do this.
Man,
And they stop.
very liberal with the bell, with the whistle.
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, that's what's up, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate the update on what's going on with you. And it looks like Cox is acting right today too. So that's
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're gonna find out. I don't know. I'm trying to get this lighting down, but I don't know, man. This stuff is too. I'm pushing the button. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out one day. One day I'm gonna be
Now
like
you,
y'all. I'm gonna grow up and be like y'all one day.
it's funny, man. When I got up this morning, I was thinking about y'all coming on and what we got planned on for the next season. Some of the programs that we gonna switch up and use. And I was like, man, if the Senators want to come on next season, I got some things that I can hook them up with in order to really kind of get on like you're trying to get on. So let's stay tuned. Stay tuned, bro. Stay tuned. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
and then I got to pitch to you my Tuesday First Sky show. I'm gonna let y'all know. We'll talk about it later. It's what they call it, a teaser. Everybody.
okay.
that's what's up, man. We got this is we got three more weeks into this season and it's gonna be teasers for the next 3 weeks. Lots of good announcements coming on and good things happening. So it's going down, man. It's going down. But appreciate you coming on this morning, man. And also I wanted to ask you a question about I gotta keep coming back to your successor because we were just talking about the help the stuff we learned about allies this season. The fact that we have you guys on, we kind of learn through your experience that sometimes it feels like it's just y'all fighting for the stuff, or just even looking at the things in a way that is a more holistic way of thinking about things. Like you tried to pass bills when it comes to education and prison reform because they're linked, which it doesn't seem like nobody else in the legislature really are making that connection and fighting for some things. So we know we just said, telling everybody go get them. If you don't have an ID, go to the DMV. They're giving away free IDs. Get ready to vote Senator McKinney back in. What's happening with you in your succession?
So only one person officially have announced, and that's Tracy Hightower. I knew her beforehand as an attorney. Had some cases with her and against her. There are two people who were talking about running. One has said they're not going to run. So I'm kind of just still waiting to see where people are come February or March, hopefully February. But I'm just I'm looking to see what's out there in the field before I commit to anything. And it's nothing against anybody in particular. It's just I've been out ahead sometimes, and then later on be like, oh man, I endorsed this person, but I wish I would have waited until this person gets in.
Mm.
The big constraint is just financially. I mean, you got to be independently wealthy, or you got to have a spouse that is working full time that can provide the insurance. To give you an example, if you try to get on the state's insurance as a state senator for a family plan, you end up actually paying them $120 a year. I mean, a month out of the $12,000 they give you per month. So you get $1,000 per month, but when all said and done, you still owe them afterwards. After they take out your
Mm.
taxes, you still owe them $120. So you can't get health insurance as a senator. You can't. I mean, it's a year-round job. Like this today, I have a meeting with the three branches of government where the judiciary chair sits down with all branches of government, and we kind of talk through what we can talk through. Let's just leave it at that, I guess. Um, and so it's a full-time job. I mean, Senator McKinney had interim hearings last week. I've had a couple on education over the summer. So the summer really isn't a break. And the only time you really kind of quote unquote get money is when you're in session. You get a per diem when you drive down more than 50 miles. So I live right outside of that 50 miles, so I get like 53, and so does Senator McKinney. But if I live anywhere closer to the interstate or west, I wouldn't, and that significantly drops the mileage. And so all you're really doing is getting reimbursed your gas. You ain't you ain't really making money. So it's a tough situation, which is why this Black independence or North Omaha economic independence is so important, because if we want to get people who are truly engaged full time, we got to be able to support them outside through businesses and things like that. So that's why it's important. But I don't know. I mean, people think. I mean, my district is different than Senator McKinney's, and I think people just assume because we in the fight together, I represent just truly North Omaha, and I really don't. The only area I represent in North Omaha is around the 50th and Ames area, to like maybe if you want to consider Fort, but like I'm really north of Sorensen Parkway. I'm north of Miller Park, and I go all the way to the county line. So I got Ponca, Florence, but then I go as far as west as 120th and State. So, I mean, to understand this district is to understand the nuances of how you got to move in this district, and it can't just be one way or the other. And so people be like, they get on me because I might take a certain position, but it's like I represent a different group. Like it's a completely different group. I mean, I got 2 homeless shelters, and I got the Scott's family, and I got multi-billionaires in my district. So it's just a different animal, and you got to be successful in this district. You got to be able to move through all those paths. And so,
man.
So I don't know. I'm going to sit down with her in a few weeks, but I'm trying to finish my last year strong. I'm trying to finish this last year my law firm. I'm trying to build that back up again. We lost a lot of clients when I was down in Lincoln. When people hire an attorney, they want your attorney to show up, and something might happen on Tuesday and you need me in court on Thursday. Well, my schedule don't work like that. I got to be in Lincoln 6 months out the year. So just working on building that back up, and just trying to finish this year strong. I really want 16th Street in the airport park to take off. I think that's our only area that we can truly develop that has land mass that can create, thousands of jobs. Nothing against 30th Street, 24th Street, but like I tell people, imagine putting 500 jobs on 24th Street. And I ask the question of where they going to park.
Right.
I mean, just some basic logistic things. So that's just kind of where it's at. And I try to, leave a good foundation for McKinney to carry things forward.
Speaking of Brother McKinney, he is waiting on the wings. We go ahead and bring him on now. Good morning, Brother McKinney. How you doing?
I'm doing good, bro. Good morning, everybody.
Senator McKinney in the house, man. He brought up your name a few times on some things. But before we get to that, man, just how you doing personally, and how's the family and everything?
Yeah, how's your weekend?
I'm doing good. Everybody's cool. My weekend was straight. I just chilled. Tried to get over Nebraska losing, but
Come on, you surprised? Are you surprised?
Man, all I'm gonna say about the game is, man, I take half of the check, and I can make some of the same bad calls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey,
I'm being 100. Just like, give me half of the check, I can make the same bad calls, and we can save a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Some money with you, right?
Yeah, hey, and you I've been seeing UNL might need it. They didn't cut some programs. They cutting things. Yeah, man. Yeah. They might need to cut some payments. But yeah, man, definitely welcome. Glad you enjoyed time with the fam and everything. I did want to kind of follow up on something you just said though, Senator Wayne, about just the district that you represent, and you said this in the past, and it never really dawned on me. Like I'm kind of curious, what are some of the issues like that are presented to you from your constituency? Like you say, you have a very diverse constituency, so I kind of feel like you would have a kind of broader picture of some of the issues beyond, across class, across different communities, I guess. If you
well, so I used to have a lot of farming in my district, and then they developed some housing and some things like that. But people got to remember, the best example is the neighborhood around Lake Cunningham. Like that was outside of the city limits until like maybe 2-3 years inside of my district. So there was a preemption gun bill that I took a lot of heat for, but people didn't understand that at the time, half of my district was outside the city limit. Over about half of my district was. So every time somebody would drive into the airport without a registered handgun, they would actually be committing a crime. And so I stayed on the first 2 rounds of that bill. I fell off the last round because they made some changes, but we were able to negotiate where they were just looking at the addresses of the people who lived in the city. So it excluded all those people that were outside of my district, or outside of the city limits that were in my district. And so everybody gave me heat like the first 2 rounds. And I'm like, look, like this is a serious problem that you can't go to the mall. You can't do these things without committing a city code misdemeanor. Some of everything's just property taxes. Like people complain about property taxes, but like there are people in Florence right now who that's one of our oldest historic districts in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So they are literally paying more in their property taxes than they ever paid on their mortgage when they first bought their house.
Man.
And now they're on fixed income. They're 75, 77 years old, and they feel like they're paying a new bank called the Nebraska, Nebraska state of Nebraska. And so for them, they're losing their homes. And so like property, and it has nothing to do with rent, it has nothing to do, it's the property taxes. And so how do you balance that, right? Like so. And then just the fact of the matter is I got some real conservatives. Like people got to understand, my district is only a third Democrat, a third Republican, and a third Independent. So I mean, you can't just be one extreme to the other. And then for me as a human, how do I make sure Black issues rise to the top without necessarily offending everybody else? And that is a hard strategy when you realize 2/3 of your district isn't Black. And so you got to do it in a way and position yourself in a way to talk to senators and to talk to people in their language. And like, I mean, Senator McKinney will agree, like our first 2 years ago, when we started doing 1024 and going after the money, our biggest allies were the Trump supporters, were the most conservatives. And that's because we told them in the language of economic development, where this isn't going to nonprofits, which we always said now it is, but that's another subject. But and we're talking about economic development. We're talking about the American dream. And if you think about it, when you listen to the Trump people, and they don't want social program, they don't want social engineering, they want prosperity and economic development. So when we were on the floor and we were working with them individuals, we never mentioned a social program. We never talked about nonprofits. We were talking about business development because that's what they know. And so just being able to have those conversations in those ways are critical.
See, that's interesting. That's interesting to hear that. Because you wouldn't think about, areas where you and a quote unquote Trump supporter will have kind of common interests or similar viewpoints. But yeah, that's interesting. I think, I would like to hear more and talk to more about your approach to policy in your diverse
Well,
district.
the thing of it is, though, they ain't gonna ever get on board and be like, we gonna come out and say we support Black people and come down and march,
Right.
Juneteenth parade with us, right? But if you can neutralize them not to rally their allies, right? If you can neutralize them not to be able to come in and undercut what you're doing, and so that's what we were having a conversation about. Like, hey, you know what the biggest fear in America is right now? And they'd be like, yeah, socialism. But do you know why that is? Because the economy doesn't work for everybody. Prosperity isn't there for everybody. So people are looking somewhere outside of capitalism to figure out how to help their families be better. And this is an opportunity with this injection of funding to create businesses and jobs and close the wealth gap. That's something they can talk about. But they ain't gonna get on the mic and be like, hey, I support Justin's Black Omaha agenda, but I just need them not to go out and rally against what we doing.
Yeah. It's game. Like
Yeah.
Brother Abraham is saying, teaching game for real.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta learn how to, speak that language.
Brother McKinney, you are Senator McKinney. Excuse me. You are in a different situation because of your area that you covering. Could you first remind us what that area is and what most of your constituents are about?
My district is like the other half of Miller Park going towards Cummins. I think 16th up to about 50th. Some around that area, and like the border is Cummins Street to about Miller Park, and then up to about 50th to 16th.
And again, that's just District 2 is what that is, right?
Yeah, it changed a little bit in redistricting, so I might be like a block or two off, but pretty much that.
Okay.
As we mentioned, that was one of the hardest fights in redistricting because Senator McKinney's district lost so much population,
Mm-hmm.
and the growth was out west. And I'll give Senator Linehan credit. She wanted to make sure, and we both did, that McKinney's district stayed a minority majority, which means there's more black people in minority than white people, and that's one of the
Mm-hmm.
few ones in the state like that. And so that's kind of why he's got a compact little district, because we had to follow the Supreme Court law saying you can't dilute black people vote just because the people moved. You need to actually make some reasonable efforts to keep that intact.
Mm,
That would fall in the lines of gerrymandering, correct?
Correct.
interesting. So some of the challenges, of course, that means that that means that all the fights that you were fighting, all the bills that you're trying to pass and stuff that you're trying to block, have to do with what more so about what the black community needs, because that's kind of the majority of your district as well. Is that how you perceive things?
Um, Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I mean, but it's still a diverse district. I got,
Mm-hmm.
natives, white people, Latinos, we got Karen people, we got Sudanese. We got a bunch of different people. It's less majority black than it was in years past because of just population leaving and things like that. But, I just try to think about what I like my experiences in life and just interacting with people throughout the days and just hearing what's going on. And that's what when I try to introduce a bill, most of my bills are just stuff I think about overnight, and I just wake up and send a message to my office and say, "Hey, can you draft this bill?" After thinking about something, or just a talk with Justin or somebody. I don't like it, and people suggest bill ideas to me too, so it comes from different spaces.
And you know what I was hitting me right now too is that we're doing a lot of talking about race in Nebraska and Omaha. And really, your district covers a lot of people in poverty. People, you cover. There's the district. The district two is the district that is. They're saying there's a lot of poverty in that district. There's a lot of people with are affected by the same things because of not having economic development and things like that in their neighborhoods. And so maybe that's a piece that is something that when it comes down to it, that's really what we're all even though there's a lot of race talk in our state, there's really poor people and people that got it, and there's really things that affect both all races because of the economic situations in the neighborhoods. Is it? Do I have that assessment close?
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, anytime you have a conversation about North Omaha, you can't not talk about poverty and the historical, you know, nature of poverty in North Omaha and how has it affected everything that happens in life. When you talk about prisons and why there's so many black people in prisons, I will point to poverty. When you talk about low education outcomes, point to poverty. When you talk about low health outcomes, you point to poverty. I think poverty
Mm-hmm.
is at the root of almost everything.
Yeah.
Do you think kind of putting the conversation in that lens rather than a race based conversation, a class based conversation, does that kind of yield better results in the legislature? Either senator.
Uh,
I don't know if it yields better results. I think it depends on the conversation, right? So when I'm taking a tax program that I know is a farmer program, and I change it to a North Omaha program, that's a fine conversation. But when you
Mm,
when you start doing race by itself, and you add the word poor, then you got senators saying, "Well, we got poor people too out in Hastings,
mm-hmm.
so it just depends on who and where you're talking to and what you're talking about."
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me jump into the chat real quick. We got another guest coming on here pretty soon, so I want to make sure that we get the chat in and a couple questions. I saw somebody that asked a question earlier. Let me see if I can find it. Uh, Jess Parker asked, "Are there any updates on what OPS is doing about the special needs classroom cuts in your district, Senator Wayne?"
No, so I mean those are actually in Senator McKinney's district. I kind of just was outspoken because I'm on the education committee and we had a hearing on it. There's been some feedback. I got some numbers that are pretty shocking, and I'm supposed to sit down with the OPS to talk about it, um, as far as number of positions and things like that. So we're still talking about it, I guess is the best I can say. But actually, I mean, what it comes down to though is local control. And what I mean by local control is it's the school board. Um, we as a state really can't weigh a whole lot into that. We try to,
Mhm.
but they'll say we got our own elected board. So our board, wins elections. Nobody overturns, nobody runs against people, and that's kind of where we got to put the boost to the roots is on these local races.
Hmm.
There you go. Boots to the roots, y'all. He said it. Ding 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 ding. He said it. Yeah, boots to the roots. That's what it's about.
One more question in the chat. Tony Johnson is asking Senator Wayne, what are your thoughts on how Black Omaha can get a greater voice in the Nebraska legislature? I'll put that to both of y'all, actually, if you don't mind.
I mean, the thing is because Omaha is diverse, and we had Cherry Hills, which was when I was growing up was going to be the black neighborhood of all the wealthy people, and we got people who live everywhere, and I think sitting down talking to your senators now is important. Like once session starts, I mean, y'all can just see by the show at 7:30. We either driving to Lincoln or we gonna be late. Like that, we gotta make a choice. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Just to even come on the
Hmm.
show. Like it's so crazy down there, and it looks like this year is gonna be another crazy year where there's gonna be a lot of bills that deal with trans issues and things like that. And now we're gonna be doing this song and dance again. That if you really want to get something done and make a bigger impact, start talking to people now.
Hmm.
When do you kind of get a picture of how many bills are being presented? When is the deadline to present
Well,
bills?
next week we got legislative council, or is it this week, Senator McKinney?
It's
You see
next week.
that?
Next next week.
Man, you got a whole nother term. You better get it together. I'm on my way.
Yeah, it's next week. Yeah, I think it's next Thursday or something like
So
that.
that's where every year we go and kind of get like a retreat, and we talk about upcoming things, and that's when you kind of start hearing some, how you feel about this issue, how you feel about that issue. I mean, I know right now they've already told, when I say they, lobbyists and everybody on the county attorney side, uh, the city of Omaha, Douglas County, like people who are kind of into this juvenile wanting to go after 12-year-olds. The rumor is you gonna have to just wait Justin out, and that's what term limits have done. They literally are
Mm.
just like, look, all we gotta do is wait a year. Wait a year, he's done. McKinney's gonna be by himself. We might be able to turn a couple people, and so just wait him out. That's literally the advice that lobbyists are giving right now to some of their clients. Just wait him out.
That's coming from lobbyists.
That's their job, right? Like if you hire me to be first guy as Omaha's lobbyist, right? I'm gonna give you the advice like, hey, this dude don't like you. He on his way out. Just like wait 1 year, bro. We'll go do something else.
Mm.
Strategy.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, before we wrap this up, I just want to mention too, before you guys got on the show, we talked a lot about what we've learned about allies this past season as well. Because a lot of times, oftentimes, it seems like it's just y'all in there fighting for certain things, and even though there's technically like allies on paper that are supposed to be helping, sometimes it doesn't seem like they're seeing the bigger picture. For instance, Senator McKinney, when you look at the preschool to prison pipeline, this is the reason why your efforts are going towards trying to do something about education and prisons, because you're looking at it in a more holistic way than a lot of the other senators are looking at it, which is the reason why they can kind of separate their efforts sometimes. Is there anything that we can do about shoring up allies within the situation too? If we're already trying to get people that can represent us in seats, but we're also in Nebraska, and it's not always, ain't gonna be majority black folks in the Senate. So where is it that we can help change some minds and shore up allies and communicate the right things to allies to be able to help with some of the things that affect us more?
I mean, biggest way I would say don't jump in the street for ally issues if they ain't gonna jump in the street for yours, and
Mm.
hold firm on that. I I think it's just having those tough conversations with people and getting them to understand that our perspective on life in America and life in Nebraska is different. So we are approaching things from a different perspective, and that's what's the thing that gets missed a lot. Like when we talked about education stuff, like to some people, the public school system in Nebraska is amazing. It's working. But for us, that's a different reality. And you got to get them to understand that. So I mean, I would just say you don't sign up for an issue if they ain't gonna sign up for yours, and just hold that line.
I mean that's I see what you're saying on that, and I totally agree. But I also feel a little bit like if we don't have enough of us in those seats, then how does that work vote wise? You're one vote. So if if maybe maybe they can get what they need without you anyway. What else can we do to push them into I won't say push, but reason with people to make them understand like how they need to be helping unjust situations.
I mean, but you gotta look at it like this though. OPS potentially has 6 out of the 9 seats that touch on East Omaha or black or brown issues. We shouldn't be having conversations about how OPS is doing with their kids. But we get to Senator McKinney's point. If it was a different issue like we saw in the legislature last year, you'll have people marching down at OPS. You'll have people in every board meeting. But when it comes to black kids being behind and schools literally shutting down special education programs in black communities, their school boards are empty. And so that's really what it comes down to is criminal justice reform. We get the three or four same people who come down when it's voting rights or something sexy on TV, abortion, trans issues. I mean, it's packed, and it's packed with people who look like us. And I ain't saying those aren't important issues. I'm just saying at the same time, if it is a truly black and brown issue, they're non-existent.
So, if I'm hearing correctly, not only are you kind of not feeling the support in the legislature, but you don't feel as much support as you would like from the constituents, from the people.
Yeah, but I think it's because it's not pushed though. Like who's pushing? Like the special education came out in the World Herald, but who's pushing it to our local people every day? Like, right? Not everybody subscribes to the World Herald. Most people use somebody else's password. But at the end of the day, right? Like who's pushing it out? And that's like through this process. The one thing I said to you guys many times is, man, we got to have some kind of black media, North Omaha media, because we just don't have a place to really get educated on the issues because it's moving so fast.
Yep.
I mean, where's the follow up on the lead that was found in the 5 OPS schools that are in East Omaha on Senator McKinney's district, right? Like we just a month, 2 months go by, and we were like, oh man, what happened? Because we just don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we actually have pulled up some lead, stories here on the show, but how much time do we have to actually spend on lead when there's bills like 620 that we have to discuss, and there's a lot of things that we have to talk about, which goes to Paul's point. I mean, we could have 100 black media outlets, and it would still not be enough to really cover all the issues. So yeah, we definitely need that voice. Okay, that clears up some.
We're gonna go ahead and have to move on. We got a special guest, Brother Qasim is coming on to give us some special announcements, man. But we appreciate you guys coming through. Before we let you go, any last words, any words of action and movement that we can take away?
I would tell everybody this week to pick one issue. Let's not overwhelm ourselves. Let's pick one issue and make that issue relevant and talk to the necessary people you need to talk to as the elected officials, board members of school, whoever at city council. Just take that one issue, reach out to them at least 3 times this week and say, hey, here's my issue. Here's how I think we could solve it, and make this week better than last week.
There you go.
Sounds good.
What say you, Senator McKinney?
I would just say, have a good day, enjoy the week, and make sure you stick to your goals and your priorities this week. Although there may be some distractions, just keep pushing.
There you go. Keep on pushing.
Come on.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you guys coming through. As always, we will see you shortly next week, brother Wayne. We do need to talk about this Tuesday thing that you got on your mind.
Yeah. Hey, if you serious,
season, we'll see what's happening. Holla, 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 holla,
holla, holla, holla.
I don't know, man. I want Wednesday, like Wayne Wednesday. Well, no, we talk.
All right.
All right, y'all be easy.
All right.
Appreciate
you too, man. Peace.
All right, there you go. We are now at 8:24 already. We're a little bit running late with our next special guest, so we're going to go ahead and bring him right on in. And I appreciate you waiting in the wings, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Qasim in the house. Good morning to you, bro. How you doing?
Peace, peace. What's good, man? What's up
Peace.
with you guys?
Appreciate
Man,
you waiting
peace,
on that,
peace.
man. We running a little bit late this morning, but I appreciate you waiting for us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm tired, man. Tired, boy. We was here in Cat, bro. I'm tired, man.
You tired,
Tired.
boss?
Here on the weekends,
Oh man, it was rough.
Okay.
You working? You on your security detail? What's the word?
Yeah. We had a security detail, man. We actually got into a pretty bad fight
Oh
and
man.
a pretty heavy weekend, man. Yeah, it was a long one, fellas.
Wow.
Guess what though? Guess what? Didn't nobody get shot?
Hey.
Man,
Even you see what I'm saying? I mean, speaking to some of the last incidents with the police shootings and stuff, you have 90% of my guards who carry firearms, but because we know how to throw that thump, we didn't draw one, and we were outnumbered.
Hey, you live to fight another day.
We didn't shoot nobody. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's just big testament to the scary,
man,
Europeans that come down here trying to patrol. Man, they're really nervous and intimidated. I ain't man.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
going good, man.
Man, all is well, brother. All is well, man. It's always a beautiful thing to see you. Always a beautiful thing to talk to you. Man, yeah. What say you, Paul?
I was just thinking, just listening to what the brothers talking about, and I get that too, man. Is I don't when it comes to their security team, don't seem like they a bunch of scary people. You know what I'm saying? And that makes a big difference. A lot of times we don't in the black community don't call the police because we think the police gonna come here and be scared of us telling the story. You know
man, you the one who called the police, end up getting shot.
How many times have we heard of this? How many times have we reported on this? People getting shot, and they're the ones that called the police in the first place, but they've been getting misinterpreted. It's the difference between walking into a community with fear and walking into a community with love. There's the difference. And that's why every time I go anywhere and see these brothers standing there, you know, I'm not a gun dude. You already know that's not me. I'm not a gun dude. So I get nervous when anybody's standing there holding a gun, except when I walk in somewhere and Brother Qasim and his brothers are standing there armed. I'm like, all right, there can't be some guns around without me feeling like I'm gonna get shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thinking back to that George Floyd rally we had at the Malcolm X, like, you know, brothers were suited and booted and ready to go, and you saw that, and it was like, okay, we can do this as a community right now. So yeah, man, peace to the BAA, man, protecting. You know, we need that protection in the community. So
appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So you said so that kind of wore you out, man, and today you tired. How does your week go usually, man? You work pretty much every day though, right? You pretty much.
Man, I'm never not working. You know, I still got to handle my family affairs and work, and you know, my son, he's wrestling now. He has his first wrestling meet this coming Saturday. You know,
okay.
So I've been, you know, I focus on my own, you know, and I give the community what I have left. You know.
Yeah,
that's
what's up.
It starts at home.
Where's your where's your son? What organization is he wrestling with?
Ready RP, man, the best in the city.
Okay. He under Coach McKinney.
Yeah. Terrell be down there touching him up every now and then. You know,
getting him right.
Be down there, man. We linked in.
Okay. What about the BAA? I know it's kind of getting cold. Y'all still doing your survival training for the young men, or what do you got going on right now?
We just had a class yesterday.
Okay.
So we've moved inside now. You know,
okay.
And yesterday we're breaking down the creed and the code and all that stuff like that, because we're getting ready to start preparing for marching and drilling. And also we have our other community efforts. I'm not going to speak on yet. I'm going to just let them manifest and stuff like that. But yeah, man, it's nonstop. Parents, I'm creating a parents council. A lot of the parents that I got, man, their children been with me since they were 3, 4, 5 years old. Those kids are 9, 10, 11 now. You know, so, it's a family.
Man, that's what it's about. Takes a village. You building that village. About how many heads do you have in your survival class?
I got about 15, 16 on a good day.
Okay.
You know?
That's what's up.
Beautiful
things, man. We all we're getting excited about 2024 season 7 for us. We're getting excited about the changes we're trying to make, things we're trying to do. the collaborations we trying to have. And we got about 3 more weeks left in this season 6. We trying to kind of go out with a bang, man, and it's due to y'all. It's due to y'all that our partnership with you guys, and the work that you were doing, man. We love to be the ones that can tell people what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Be somewhat of a mouthpiece to the stuff that you got going on. I hope that the Chad Chimers and Ghost listeners have learned through this show the kind of programs that you guys put together and the things that you guys are doing for the youth. And I hope hope that if I walk away from this at any point, I hope that I left that understanding there, and that continue to do that and this work that you guys do. So appreciate the work you guys are doing. We're always going to be a voice for that. And we got things coming up. Of course, we got the 4th anniversary of the BAA about to happen, which is crazy. Kind of like I kind of got wind. I feel like I just got wind of y'all, and y'all been doing this for some time now. I mean, I guess it's been how I am with time, bro. Years be going by. I be like, I just met that cat last weekend. Nah, that was 2 years ago. Yeah, man. So you got the 4th anniversary coming up, and of course, we all know that we got Dr. Umar that's going to be speaking at this at this event here. Black Agenda Alliance presents in honor of his 4th year anniversary. Man, Dr. Umar is going to be here live in person. How's your ticket sales going? First of all,
man, they going good, man. You know our people, man. They done picked up over the last few days, but they're going good. I think that place is going to be packed out. Speaking of Dr. Umar, me and that guy, man, we kind of go back and forth every day now, man. And
nice.
He's the one person that speaks to our mission. So that's why we've chosen him to come. In our mind, in the Pan-Africanist mind, he's the one with the good sense of them all, man. And that's the direction that we're headed in. Everything he's on and represent and talk about is who we are and so forth and so on. So a treat to the community is even listening to this last conversation, man. I'm kind of like scratching my head in some areas, man. But I'm gonna soak it all in, because for me, and this is probably why they consider us to be extremists, but they call Jesus an extremist. They call Malcolm an extremist. They called anybody who ever made any real sufficient change an extremist. And we talked about that before, right? Mm-hmm. But for us, man, it's like, it's got to be black or nothing. We just set up here, and I want to send a special shout out to my brother Sherman Wells, my right-hand man. I got a few right-hand men. Me and him, I want to give a special shout out to Assembly of the Saints Church. The only religious institution in this city that I'll vouch for is the Assembly of the Saints. Pastor Ballard, Gary Ballard, someone you guys may definitely want to. I actually went to his service yesterday. Beautiful. He's the one who opened up the facility for us, and his institution is doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing via biblically, Quranically. It's a source for the people, know. And then Sherman, we set up there, and Sister Riel, she's another heavy hitter. We set up there. We're forming a unity African union right now between the Afro-Americans and the Sudanese community. So we will be flying their flag at the event.
That's dope.
Okay, as the beginning of our unification. So for me, listening, and I understand the political standpoint. I do now to an extent, but for me, man, it's got to be all black. Because see, here's the thing. I remember what's her name? Biden's Kamala. I remember her making a statement. She's saying what will be good for black people will be good for all people. But see, we can't because we're 500 years plus behind, right? So what you did good for them, just put them that much more. I mean, you may have done something for us, but I mean, we still behind. You see what I'm saying? So in my mind and some of the things that I understand and stuff like that, man, it got to be about us, man. Like everybody else have done. Everybody else put theirs first. We can't have that, man. So that's why I'm kind of like, I understand the political stuff, man, and that's cool. But the plan A, not even the plan B, the plan A must be that we look out for each other first. Shouldn't be plan B. As a matter of fact, we shouldn't even be emphasizing too much as we do on the political. It definitely, those positions matter, but we got to get us right, man. You know,
Definitely agree. I think the two pronged approach. Like we definitely have to get get our affairs in order so we can sit at the table of nations. You know what I mean? So we can begin to negotiate and talk and have those conversations with other nations or other communities. But I definitely agree. We got to get us right first. And I think both lanes, as far as what the senators are doing, we definitely need somebody at that level, kind of advocating and speaking our voice. But we need, like the BAA, to have that voice unified because the work that they're doing isn't going to work if our voice isn't unified, and we're kind of seeing that play out in real time with some bills. So, man, we appreciate you. We love you. I definitely agree with what you're saying, and yeah, it might be extremism, but hey, keep going. We need some extreme radical
our
change.
condition is extreme. Our
Right.
condition
Right.
is extreme. It's going to take, and it ain't even extreme. It's logic. It's civilization. It's only considered
Hmm.
extreme when we talk about looking out for ourselves. Hence why, because we're the closest thing to God, and we can deal with that however you want to deal with it, even if you want to
Hmm.
deal with it scientifically. And so I understand why the mission and the goal here is to keep us up under. I understand. And, when you understand and you get it, you think and you move differently, man. We gotta look out for us. And you're right, we do need people in those positions. I won't disagree with that at all.
What I love about this show is that we're attacking what we're doing with this premise that black people are not a monolith. Our
Oh yeah.
black culture is not monolithic. There's not just one thing happening. We got several things happening, and we love the fact that when people start to really understand like where their lane is and what their lane is in conjunction with other people's lanes, then you can see how we can all go in that same direction, in the direction we all trying to roll. So I love the fact that we can have the senators on, which I feel like are kind of polar opposite of what it is that you guys is doing, and be able to understand the juxtaposition of both of them and the good that both are doing, and to move things in the same direction. We absolutely need black folks to have the black conversation with black folks and do for black folks and have economic development for black folks, and for us to specifically get together and work on us and have those conversations. We also are a family of black folks living in a surrounding of other folks that are working against us, and so some of those allies like brother Terrell McKinney and Justin Wayne are on those outskirts working that part of the party. So we love the fact that we got so many different avenues and different lanes happening, and this is one of the first times I've been feeling since I've been in town where people are understanding what their lane is, how their lane works with other lanes, so we can all go in the same direction. So just really appreciate that, and of course I love we were actually looking at trying to do a situation here. Little mama that came in. What's going on, little mama? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to lock my door today, so we got
Ringleaders
a
in the
visitor.
house.
Yeah, we got a visitor today.
Ringleader.
It's what it's
What's
about, though.
going
It's
on?
what
How
it's
you doing,
about.
baby?
Say peace.
Hey, peace. So yeah, man. So we're talking about doing a thing coming up this next season where we want to have a conversation. We want to be able to have what we call family conversation. Other
Mm-hmm.
groups are not
We talk all the
allowed.
time.
We need to all speak amongst ourselves in the room together. Hopefully, we can work with you guys to be a part of that conversation and all those good things. I want to jump into the chat because there's a lot of people in the chat right now, man, going off, and I want to give them some time. Rael Kell's in the house. So God is good. Sherman L. Wells and Qasim Shabazz Asad, y'all. The truth. Love how First Guy Omaha is letting brothers like him talk about that real talk.
Oh
Appreciate that.
yeah.
Appreciate that. Also, let's see what else is going on. We got Sherman Wells in the chat right now. What's going on, brother Wells? Said Gary Ballard Jr. is the truth. I guess we're gonna have to have him on for sure.
Oh yeah.
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 Gerard Christian says Qasim C. Shabazz Assad is definitely one of my right hands. 100. That's what's up. Riel Kels, it's got to be all black. Hear that? Kimber says BAA was the only organization that tried to help me in my neighborhood in South Omaha in 2020. I was pleading for help from other folks.
Yeah. See, our sisters shouldn't be begging for help and pleading for help. We should definitely be there for them. So, yeah. Kudos to the
There
BAA.
you go. Tony Johnson in the chat is asking Kasim thoughts on bringing someone like Tariq Nasheed in to talk. That's a question to put out there. I'm not sure who Nasheed Tariq. What's it?
Yeah, Tariq Nasheed. If you've seen Hidden Colors, he's all
Oh,
through
yeah,
there.
yeah.
He's yeah. I mean, he's kind of the same level contemporary with Brother Umar,
Okay.
Dr. Umar. So just what are your thoughts on that? Is that somebody you feel like represents the BAA?
Of course, of course. Dr. Umar, however, in my opinion, because he have gotten his school 90% off the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and so we can relate to his struggle simply from purchasing land and going through some of the things that we went with our own people,
Mm-hmm.
internally and externally. We understand his struggle, and we see the fruit that he's bared. So for us, not saying that Tariq Nasheed haven't done anything, he did Hidden Colors. I don't know what else is going on with him outside of that.
Right.
Alhamdulillah for the brothers' efforts. But right now, Dr. Umar is the one that's standing tall in doing what he said he was going to do, no matter how long it took.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Active, not passive.
Right.
Active, not
We're
passive.
past
Yes, sir.
words. We're past lectures that does not have the fulfillment of fruit bear. We bear fruit. We don't want to sit down
Mm.
and hear lectures from anybody. Not saying that Tariq Nasheed, but we don't want to hear nothing from nobody that have not bared any fruit. We're past that.
Feel
Man, it's definitely time for action. So, man, I appreciate that. Time for some action.
Tamika Renee in the chat. Good morning. He says gun safety training facilitated by BAA and its allies are vital for our community. Preventable fatalities and injuries will occur at an increasing rate as a result of LB 77. Let's get behind this initiative to support the series so it can continue to be presented without cost to the community. NOCP is in full support. That is something that is unfortunately we just found out today on the show about a young brother that lost his life due to a mishandling of a gun, and it just really shows the situation of how much training is still needed, and the way that you guys are tackling this. There's no other organization out here that's really tackling this for our community, but you guys. So even though, like I said, I'm not a gun person, but I really appreciate what you guys are doing about it. If somebody gonna have a gun, they need to know how to handle it, how to be responsible with it, and to prevent accidents like what happened over the weekend. So again, another area in which I appreciate you. This can just be the BAA appreciation show from now on because everything out our mouth is we appreciate you,
No, we
Oh
appreciate
yeah,
y'all, man.
man.
If I can make a quick announcement to the
Please,
audience, man, on
please,
how
please.
much we appreciate y'all. First guy of Omaha will still be something. First guy of Omaha, Sister Kimra, Sister Celeste Butler, Lamont Gilchrist, Terrell McKinney will all be receiving honorary awards at the Dr. Umar event. And on behalf of our thanks to you all, man, because we look at you all as being the only source in our minds, and we love y'all and we appreciate you guys always representing us and keeping a positive motion, man, because it's anybody who do what we do, including you guys and everybody that I just mentioned, man, we know how hard it is. Everybody want empowerment and this and that and the third until it's actually time to do it, and everybody wants something out of it, man. So we just want to thank y'all, man. So we do want to let the audience that's here know, on behalf of First Guy, pull up and help us celebrate you brothers' success. We got to make sure y'all stay in place.
Man,
appreciate you,
thank
man.
you, thank you. And that's how it goes, man. One hand washes the other. You know what I mean? Like we all we got, and we're definitely stronger together. So yeah, man,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Really
Yeah.
appreciate that. And we might as well go on and announce it now. We're going to go and fly Buddy in town for this event too. So
Oh yeah. I'm coming down, man. I'm coming through.
we're gonna pull up. We're gonna pull up. So we encourage you guys to pull
Yeah.
up too, man. Come party with us, man. We celebrate. It's all celebration for each other. So appreciate that. If you haven't got your tickets yet, go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and put that link back in the chat. And better hurry up. I heard there's limited space. You gotta get your tickets
Man,
now. Make it happen.
come on. Don't wait till the last second. Might not be there.
Yeah. We know that Dr. Umar is coming through, and that is the second that we're talking about. I'll put that information back up real quick. People,
Mhm.
he's gonna come through in live in person for a talk on the second. But is there a chance we might be able to get him on the show to promote a little bit before that? Is that
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Me
Okay.
and him just spoke last night, man. So Wednesday, I don't think I'll be able to get on. I'll let you know something, but I know he will be. I'll be in the truck
Beautiful.
running up and down that ramp for my funding.
There
Hey.
you go. That's what's up. Appreciate you, man. So yeah, there you go. You just heard it from the source. Dr. Umar is going to be on the show Wednesday. We'll speak to him about what's coming up and his trip coming up, and that's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. The other thing that we've been talking about too is we heard that Dr. Cornell West is going to be in town as well. It's a move. Your brother's coming in. He's running for president. He's coming in town, and what does he do to say, "Hey, I need some security detail"? Calls y'all, and that tells me right there that brother knows what's up, even from where he's
Yeah.
at. He knew the right people to call in town to make sure that everything's going to be cool. Tell me about that experience with Dr. Cornell West.
Man, Allah is the best of knowers.
Man.
That's all that I can say, man. I'm definitely humbled, and we it's just Anthony Rogers Wright, which is another brother that I think you all plan to have on. He was the one that blessed us more so with the opportunity, along with Dr. Cornell. Son, you got to be quiet. So it's one of them things where he's running, of course, he's running independently. And for us, kind of following up on what I heard the last time, it's one of them things, man, where even if you do not win, we must begin the momentum. We must begin to shift the momentum. And that's what this come down to, with us bringing in Umar, with Cornell West and stuff like that. Like we spoke about before, even if you deal with scripture and we talk about God, it took God himself a period of time to manifest that in which he wanted to put into perspective. And then he even had to go back to the drawing board, destroy what he made. And, so these are some of the things we can deal with literally or metaphorically. And this is how we operate with the BAA. It's like, these things take time, and there's certain things that we must put in place to capture the momentum and build the momentum and keep the momentum so that we can begin to shift the narrative and the confidence in our people, because we focus on our people and our people alone. The melanated people is what I'm talking about. Everybody else forgot about us, the stone the builders and rejected. We don't have time to worry about anybody else and their problems and none of that. Right. Not going to say we don't care. I'm not going to say we wouldn't, but it's us first, like everybody else did, So Cornell West coming in and Dr. Umar, those are all things to begin to shift the momentum. Next year, when the political election and all that stuff come around and we've already built momentum, we'll be able to start shifting our people in the direction, because they didn't build and establish trust in us,
That's what's up.
And themselves.
Man, that's what it's about. That part. There's definitely a lot of distrust within our own selves that we have to work through. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But yeah, I think it's coming together. It's definitely coming together. And the quote Prophet Noble Drew Ali, is definitely time for us all to be under our own vine and fig tree. If you pick up what I'm putting down, like you have the Sons of Italy, you have different organizations. Like we're the only ones without like a Black Caucus, or we're still looking at where do our elected officials come together? Where is that unity? So we're the only ones not doing it. Got to be done. Got to be done.
Or if we are doing it,
I don't know, because I think that, even if you mention the Sons of Italy, they still have opposition within their own confines, right? And then, then you have even our Black politicians. They don't all like each other, and I think that's everywhere. But neither do the white politicians,
right? But they still come together.
Not always, though.
The thing is I just think that because of our social condition, it looked the worst when we do it, because we already don't have anything.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So it looks a lot rougher because we're so disconnected, because we don't have nothing. Whereas the other cultures and civilizations in this country do. So they can afford to have odds amongst each other, because they still have what I said earlier, a plan A, not a plan B. The plan A was unity first, not the political realm. You see what I'm saying? Because even if they don't get their politician in place, they can still go back to their communities with a plan, a sufficient economic thing going on. The communities are clean, safe, low violence, and all kinds of crap. We don't have that We don't have that privilege, you know. So I'm still gonna say what I'm gonna say in regard to this, and not even on no division, because the door is always open for unity.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
but I've accepted that this is warfare, and that there's not that everybody's not gonna get behind us. We accept that, and we're not gonna get behind everybody. You know, we just had that conversation what a few weeks ago when a brother came on, and you brothers were the initial spark to that. You
Mm.
brothers were the initial spark to that meeting between myself and Willie Barnum. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So then, and thank you for that. You know, but then okay, then what's next? You know,
Right.
we're still, you know, people are still really even afraid to say our names in these rooms at times because of what we represent. You know,
Mm.
so I think made it unfortunately made the best sect win in regard to what the best is for the people, what the best outcome for the people, maybe. You know, so I don't know, man. I just don't see us all coming together, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, you know, that might be the case, and like I said, I think that one of the things that we can try to push for is just to figure out, you know, everybody got their lane, how the lanes work together. It doesn't necessarily mean that we all gonna work together or all agree, and that, you know, that's a to me that's a childish way of thinking. Even, you know, when I was a child, I used to think, well, everybody black is going through the same thing I'm going through, so we all should get together and we all should understand each other. And then you grow up and you start to realize all skin folk ain't your kin folk. You start to realize, you know, who's in there. You start to realize things about, you know, the discord and the stuff that's in our community. We actually learn from the white community because that's who really put, you know, you know, the stuff that we get is the stuff that we are subject to all the time. And that creates some divisions. That creates some people going to be about it. Some people are not going to be about it. Some people see the bigger picture past themselves. Some people see only themselves and their families. You know, there's going to be, like I said, not a monolith. There's going to be definitely people that are not going to be on the same page, and they might even fight against us in some certain circumstances. So we're just going to get as much togetherness as we can,
Mm-hmm.
and continue to fight. So I appreciate, like I said, appreciate your willingness to be able to try to match up with some folks. If it doesn't work out, that's understandable too, and
Yep.
it's also not just one conversation. Hopefully it'll be over time we can figure out how to integrate, how to weave some things together, how to get people to understand some things, and different circumstances happen over time. Then sometimes people start getting more and more together. We all had to grow in our belief system from some messed up way of thinking we was thinking before. You know what I'm saying? And we watch, everybody watches the progress. You watch your own progress, and we don't all go at the same speeds and the same levels with each other, but that don't mean they won't get there. So hopefully they will at some point, and we're gonna do what we got to do in the meantime. And I
Yeah.
think that's what y'all about. That's what we're about. And we can see who's gonna be really trying to get together and do things, and who's still not ready. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah.
Appreciate that very much. In the chat, people are going off. We got a little bit more time to check some things out. Rome's Review says, any plans for the BAA to have food pantry, or does that exist already?
We haven't made it there yet. Willie Hamilton has a food pantry. We why not get behind him and
Mhm.
help his become bigger. You know,
Perfect. Yeah.
Beautiful.
because that in my mind, that's what would make sense.
Right.
Be to help his grow. Being that I
Hello.
know of, he have the largest one in the city.
Right.
You know, so I would be more
Yeah.
interested in helping him help that grow so that we can continue to do other things.
That's how we work.
Beautiful.
That's how we work.
Beautiful. Well, on that note, um, any plans for using some of the BAA land for farming, like urban
Absolutely,
farming?
man. Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
man. We got enough. We plan on doing housing, farming. We definitely number one on the agenda. We've been up there clearing, man. I got to get y'all up there. When you get here, we'll go up there.
Yeah. Yeah.
What day
Yeah.
we
We were
gonna be here?
supposed
Let's
to come
find out
check
what
you
day
out
you're gonna
last
be
time
here.
I was
Yeah, let's
there.
find out what day y'all gonna be here. Because Umar want to get up there, and Cornell, and maybe we can all just kind of circulate. But
Right.
yeah, man,
Okay.
land, build a facility, housing, farmland, all that stuff, man. That's the mission right now.
That's what's up, man. Really appreciate
Beautiful.
that. Speaking of which, we will have to. We want to tell the people too that we have been talking to the folks behind brother Cornell West visit, And there is a possibility, we don't have a complete confirmation yet, but there is a possibility that we will have Dr. Cornell West on the show. So stay tuned for that. We got more coming. Stay tuned for that, for real. And like I said, we're going to try to go out with a bang here this last part of season 6, for real.
Yeah, man.
And it's really because of the work that this brother right here is doing. Bro, I got to get a sweater. I'm looking at your hoodie like, where?
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice right
That's
there.
Sherman, man. Sherman is the man of the day for that.
Yeah.
All right,
We're gonna have some for sale at the event. That's the goal. So
that's what's up.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
That's what's up. All right, we doing that. We're gonna go ahead and like I said, go back and check out the chat. There's a lot of good comments in the chat. A lot of good things. If you miss any parts of these interviews, you can also go back to Facebook and YouTube and watch them in its entirety. We encourage you to do that so you can hear about the things that Brother Qasim has been talking about, and also the announcements that have been going out. Again, it's coming up in a few days, man. It's the 4th anniversary of the Black Agenda Alliance, featuring Dr. Umar, who's gonna come and speak. He just ran down some of the folks that they're going to recognize. Us being one of them, can't even tell you how much I'm proud of that.
Man,
really honored, man. Appreciate you very much. We definitely going to be there. Buddy's going to pull up. We're going to be in the building and be hanging out and having some conversations with Dr. Umar. So come on, check us out. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, we'll have to pull that link, but you can always hit Cash App BAA Omaha, and also for PayPal, you can hit info@BAAomaha.com. I encourage you to go ahead and get your tickets there, and keep those in mind, because you can always go to that Cash App and that PayPal and help the Black Agenda Alliance, support the Black Agenda Alliance even beyond the tickets here. So keep that Cash App and that PayPal handy so that you can do that anytime that you have feel inclined to help and support what these brothers are doing, and continue to do that. So appreciate that. I just saw somebody here in the chat that says they're proud to be here. It is Ceci Jean said, I'm a proud supporter of the BAA.
Yes,
Appreciate what you're doing, and it's much needed. Appreciate you, Ceci Jean. That's what's up.
Yes.
That's in the fam right there. She said she need a hoodie for her and her husband too. So that's what's up. Yeah, we got to do that. We working on some hoodies ourselves, so maybe we can do some trading around here in a minute.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate that, man. We got about 3 minutes left in the show, brother. Anything else that you want to leave us with before you get out of here today?
Shoot, man, just want to say I appreciate you, brothers, man. And I just want the people to remember, man, that us first. Like I said, I love my political brothers and sisters and stuff like that. And I understand, and it probably is a fine line that must be walked, but then when it come down to us, man, we got to do for us first. And that's what this is all about. It's Garveyite or nothing, it's Garveyite or nothing over here, man. And so I'll never
race first.
Yeah. Garveyite or nothing, man. I don't think I would never put myself in a position. This is the position for me, these guys, and at certain jobs I won't even accept because I can't, it would take away from this, man. So I just want to say I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, brothers. I love my community. I love myself, man, and let's get this work,
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, Allah's definitely the best of planners, the best of knowers. And you as the warrior you are, you're right on the front lines where you need to be, man. So we appreciate you. We support you. Looking forward to this weekend. Looking forward to Wednesday. And yeah, man, thanks as always.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate y'all.
We'll be in touch, man. Peace. All right, there you go, Brother Qasim, Black Agenda Alliance. Wanda Lewis says, I love the fact that you're willing to build and share with another food pantry coming together.
So it's about.
Definitely. It's been
we see too much.
Been on our list. Willie Hamilton, to get him on the show, man. Talk about that. Willie Hamilton. It's funny, but I'll drive down to the post office or something like that and be like, well, what's up with all this traffic? What is going on here? It's Willie Barney. Willie Hamilton every time, with a line around the corner for the food pantry. So, and it's crazy how Omaha does too, man. North Omaha, just don't even worry about it. That's a you just in line in that lane. It's not a street no more. It's not.
Yep. No. Nobody really complaining. I done been on the phone with Mama Guy while she stayed in that line a couple of times. Like, you still in line? Like,
for those that you don't know, the line there is no place for you to pull up on that food pantry. So you just in the street. You're on Ames Boulevard, and there'll be a line that go all the way down to the high school.
Yep, north. wrapped around the
up
block.
to 30th, and they just say, yeah, this is just that's the Willie Hamilton lane right there. That's just all. We got 2 lanes now. One of them is shut down. One of them is the Hamilton lane, and we'll just chill in that. Nobody gets mad. No, it's real. It's
Yep.
crazy how he orchestrated that, man. I can't see that happening nowhere else. That's interesting to me, for real.
Yeah, man, but definitely powerful for Brother Qasim to say that. It's too many times we've seen duplicate efforts,
Yes.
and it's like, man, why don't y'all just team up? Why can't again, we're stronger together, man. So
That's so in the spirit of what we trying to do here too, man. So I
yep,
really
yep,
appreciated that comment. Thank you, but everybody for joining us. I'm sorry that we didn't get to the rest of the stories today, but we will pick that up
yeah,
on Wednesday. As you did here, Dr. Umar will be on Wednesday, so stay tuned for that talk. And like I said, man, we working. I think Brother Cornell West is going to be on here in the next week or so. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on. He will be in town next Tuesday for his rally, and where he's definitely we're talking to his people to promote that a little bit. So yeah, they're going to hit us up, and it's going down. It's looking good. As a matter of fact, it's looking real good. We just need one last little bit of confirmation, and pretty much it's going down. So stay tuned for that. You know we're gonna blast it all over the place when it happens. So don't worry about missing it.
and then with a bang, y'all.
Even talk to Star Trek Rich, man. We're gonna be back over at Weberize when we do that interview as well. So we're going back to Weberize for a minute when Buddy comes out next week. We also need to talk about having a little bit of a Chat Chimers kickback while you're in town. Now that we spilled the beans about you coming through.
I'm with it, man. I'm with it. Let's live alive together one more time.
One more time. So stay tuned for all that news and more. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Man, peace to the brothers for coming through. Senators Terrell McKinney, Justin Wayne, Brother Qasim. We support and really appreciate those brothers for the work that they're doing in the arenas that they're in. I really mean that. To make a sports analogy, you have different positions for a reason. Everybody got a role to play, and teamwork truly makes a dream work. So we appreciate everybody who's about the teamwork, who's about the efforts that we're doing. Thank you all for your support, all you chat chimers. Looking forward to coming back to Omaha for a couple of days to celebrate, receive the award, receive some recognition, and just be with the people, man. So as always, man, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you. Catch the same time, same place, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right here on First Sky Omaha in the morning. Let's see. Baby girl, you want something? You got something to say?
Hey. What's up, mama? How you doing?
Say peace.
Peace. That's what's up, man. Appreciate that. Brother Melvin Muhammad in the chat. I haven't heard from you in a while, bro. He said good to see you, sir. Appreciate you coming through, Brother Muhammad. Another supporter of First Sky Omaha in the house. So really appreciate you very, very much. Rome's Review says 238 subscribers over here on YouTube, 26 new this season. That's a beautiful thing. We will encourage everybody to like and subscribe and spread the word. Tell a friend, like and subscribe. And let's try to get these numbers up on YouTube as well. Pop says this show just keeps getting better. Congrats on being honored. It is well deserved. Thanks, Pops. Appreciate you very much. Tony Johnson is giving us a time and a place for Dr. Cornell West. Cornell West, 12/5, the 5th of December at the Highlander from 6 to 8:30. So we will be getting some more information on that visit. Like I said, he's running for president, so he's coming to do his rallying. And I believe that we're going to get him on the show on the 4th. That's the tentative date that we're going to have him on and talk about that a little bit more. So really appreciate it. Sarah Felt, as Thomas said, your daughter is so beautiful. She's a happy child.
Thank you.
RG in the chat says weather is going to be decent this weekend, so y'all ain't gonna completely freeze up. Thank you for that news.
Yes, gospel.
Link to KTV's interview of North Omaha Community Partnership was posted above by Tamika Rice. Appreciate that very much. If you guys would bear with us just for another quick minute, I did want to show you guys something that maybe will spark a conversation that we will continue to have. We already been having, but we'll continue to have. Check this out real quick if you guys will bear with us just for a second here.
The shift for a lot of people was just being aware of it. Not really knowing that the coal plant has been there this long and was not up to par with where it needed to be was a surprise to a lot of people.
A 50-year-old coal power plant is being blamed for premature deaths and more than $100 million in health and environmental costs.
We had so many young people coming through and they all have family members with asthma. It's a very common issue here in North Omaha.
I began attending OPPD board meetings in the spring of 2011. As a school nurse, I was particularly concerned about the asthma link with coal.
The damage has been done, but now what do we do to solve the problem now that we are aware of what has been done?
The group gathered outside OPPD's headquarters asking the public power company for a timeline to shutter the plant and switch to clean renewable energy.
Nebraska needs to get in the game.
The Sierra Club led the way with the grassroots organizing effort, which was led by Graham Jordison. This was a success that for lots of different people, lots of different organizations.
It's a public power district. It is an organization that hears from the people. It has a board elected by the people. And I think that when you see a public entity being responsive to the people, it gives you a sense of pride in the process and how it works.
It was also a multi-level effort. It involved people speaking at board meetings, one-on-one contacts with board members, and contacts with community leaders like state senators. And the final result was success on many levels.
The end of coal piled high at OPPD's North Omaha power plant is now in sight.
They agreed to shut down the North Omaha coal plant. They agreed to reduce their energy usage by nearly a tenth. They also made a commitment to get at least a third of their energy from renewable sources. This will reduce their greenhouse gas emissions by nearly 50% over the next 10 years. And it's the lowest cost option.
It's a remarkable shift in direction that will do our part to try to help address the obvious problem of climate change.
Is it possible to make this kind of change? We thought that it could be possible when the community speaks up.
There you go. 2014, that went out. And I got to say, we've watched them kick the can down the road on all of that. The coal plant is still here. We got the same problems, same asthma. Really interesting to watch something like that. Like you said, that's so far back. Sharif had his dreads. He has locks still. In 2014 is when it just goes to show you how many times a nonprofit group will get together, pull in a bunch of people to try to make some change happen. And then what happens? What happens after that? So
far, nothing.
Right. So that initiative may have garnered a few results here or there, maybe something about greenhouse gases. We're not really sure exactly what came out of that initiative. All we know is that the coal plant is still here, and they're still talking about getting rid of it. They're still saying that. Wanda Lewis says, we were told in a meeting that it'll never be totally gone because it's connected to the grid. So there's a whole lot of talking going on around here. A whole lot of talking. And to Brother Qasim's point, it's time for some action. Time for some action.
Time for some action.
Just a fraction of friction is going down. So we'll continue to talk about this and figure out exactly what can be done. Boost to the roots, season of action. What can we actually do to make some of these things change and happen? Good question. We'll talk about it in the upcoming shows. Thanks for waiting past the 9 o'clock agreed upon hour in order to tease up the next discussion. Really appreciate everybody that's come through. Thank you very much. I want to go ahead and let us get going here. And again, appreciate everybody's comments. I want to give thanks to the Omaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before them. And shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Thanks for all of your comments and questions. Thank you. Absolutely. Really appreciate everybody doing that. Shout out to Lil Mama, our third host this evening, this morning.
Yeah, good.
Peace. How you doing?
She's busy.
Busy now.
She's busy playing. She found something to mess with.
Oh man, love it. All right, you guys. Thank you very much again, Dr. Umar on Wednesday. So stay tuned for that show, and really appreciate everybody's kind words. I didn't go over them all in the chat, but thank you very much for the kind words and the shout out.
Going off.
Yeah, man. Get your tickets. Meet us over there on the 4th anniversary of the BAA. Dr. Umar in town and all that good stuff. That's December 2nd coming up. Let's all meet there, live alive with one another, and get together and celebrate a little bit. Meantime, between time, we'll catch you Wednesday. You guys, take care of yourselves. Peace.
Peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the Red